ever since you know, the interviews made or taken with Shat after his astounding performance at the Western Clash earlier this year, it's just, you know, supports, you lose them in a team fight early on, the fight is over. They're the most crucial member of every roster.
That is true. We actually saw where SMX, where he basically this weekend dropped a palm on his ally when saved him at the cost of his own life. And I was like, that's really cool and all, but now the rest of the team doesn't have healing. You have another damage dealer. No, I personally don't like that trade. I think if you have the choice of the support saving an ally or saving themselves, preferably you want to do both, but I personally think the support should prioritize themselves.
More often than not, I think I will agree with you. I think so too, yeah. Illidan, by the way, being banned again in RPG on Dragon. I mean, Dragonshire is probably one of the best maps for Illidan, right? He can do so much there. The global utility from a hunt, the laning phase, the rotations, the mercenaries he can take all by himself. It's not really common in other regions, but hey, China sometimes has its own twist to it.
White main removed. And the question is, will we see Cassia stolen or banned again? That is the question right now.
And yes,
DSL.
Tetra, I'm pretty sure, Chad, Tetra would palm each and every single one of you.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, that was Trick being hilarious as usual. Where it's just like, they were like going over it, just like, oh my god, he gave his life! He gave his life for his teammate! He palmed him! That's some true friendship there. And to Caldor, just like, would you palm me? No, I was like, oh, while laughing. But yeah, so with Phoenix taken away, we start to see a smaller hero pool coming in. Deckard Cain is very quick, as is the Diablo. So in terms of heroes for DSL, once again, we haven't seen a very varied hero pool. We've seen Cassia, Reyna, Hammer, Abathur once, that was weird, Jaina, and Junkrat. So all of these are currently available. His entire hero pool is available.
That is correct, and I don't think there's going to be that many heroes that will get picked away here. Blaze and Muradin, all right, a beefy frontline coming in there, and I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate it, and the Blaze in particular, you saw the bunker value last game. It diminished so much of the damage coming in from Junkrat. It helped people escape, and KTY is probably next to Soap, hands down the best Blaze in the league. I mean, Hugo made a strong point for himself today, but it's a sample size, my friend. We need to see more Hugo.
Hugo's definitely getting better at it. The Reyna banned away. The Karazim ban leads me to believe we might be seeing like a Tracer or a Hanzo or a Li Ming style. Because that Karazim can really put pressure onto those squishier melee heroes.
Could also be a preemptive measure, right, to keep the Diablo safe, just in case we see an aggressive play from C, and then seven-sided can really sometimes, you know, ruin a Diablo's life. But that's also a nice. Ooh, for the first time, we see Jaina being deployed. I like it. You also saw DSL on Jaina, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was one of the small hero pool, so that is interesting to see. Huh. Like, the Jaina is an interesting choice here against this comp in particular. I know it synergizes with Phoenix, so I don't hate it there. It's got decent bot lane control. It's good burst follow-up for Diablo. Alright, it's good. I dig it.
Oftentimes, people say that, you know, when you go for these burst mages, interesting elf here, by the way. Yet again for 365, but hey, immediately the Cassia coming down for DSL, and that is, without a doubt, his most impressive hero up to this point. But a lot of people say, you know, when you pick a hero like Jaina that relies on burst, the Blaze will prove to be a good counter, and to a certain extent, I agree. But by the same token, I think Jaina melts that bunker with Frost Magic and Frostbrand quite heavily. So you can really get rid of that bunker super quickly, only to then follow it up with your remaining damage.
Yeah, I can see that. So being able to remove that bunker could be very effective here. And Cassia, we've seen Cassia do okay against a Sergeant Hammer when DSL was playing it. So, like I said, it could work. I would have obviously preferred like a more standard counter, like a Chromie or a Nazebo, but out of all of the other ones, Cassia seems like she might be effective, especially with a Lightning Fury build.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, right? That's exactly what DSL did every single time, going for Thunderstroke at level 1, and then just, you know, stacking up those spares, provide consistent poking on a stationary Sergeant Hammer. And, you know, with Sergeant Hammer, if she doesn't go for the Napalm, I think there's not even that much she can do against the Cassia, only that other than relying on this one team fight only use of BFG.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing to head into game number 2. Can RPG even up the score here and keep their lead over CE? Or will this perhaps become a lead for CE as they move themselves up the table? CE themselves are on the left-hand side, and they are preparing to get this underway with a Lufel, XTQ, 365, sorry, KTY, and Zhuyu. I'll learn eventually.
Facing them yet again are the rocket propelled grenades with MJ, Free Show, PAS, CE, and DSL. Some of the quickest names, some of the shortest names in the league. But they're definitely not short on skill here because they have shown us in the past already that they know how to face these top dogs in CE. Is this the sleeping giant now finally awake? It took them an entire week to really, you know, find their final roles, swapping it around here a little bit, finding their comfort zone. But if they continue to play like in game 1, I think there's very few teams, with the exception of maybe SBT, the One, and BTG, who can stop them.
CE, if they win this, they will move up to 9 points, putting them 1 point behind the One and putting themselves into 4th place. If they lose, they will be up to 7, and RPG will be up to 8. So RPG will still be in that 4th place and guarding against CE moving up.
Okay, Zhuyu trying to, you know, keep Diablo busy. Actually, he successfully distracted C, which is amazing because that means that the main engaging tool is no longer available to deal with Sergeant Hammer. So, sometimes when you're Diablo or any warrior basically dealing with Sergeant Hammer, don't let yourself get distracted, don't let yourself get dismounted. Jaina actually, good damage, but 50 armor is 50 armor, man. Can't sneeze at that.
Yeah. Quick Mafurian heal as well, but Jaina continues to ping in the damage, forcing a Lufel to unsiege. He's trying to just rotate and find a good lane. DSL currently laning against KTY, as we had a nice little lane swap with Free Show holding bot lane, at least for the moment.
Oh, nice location there as well by a Lufel, knowing exactly how large the radius of his siege mode is, and just barely touching Irel to dismount her. Super cool to see these little details sometimes, whether that was coincidence or not.
Both teams take a Siege Giant camp. Blaze takes control of top as Yrel has only just arrived up there, making it a double cap, but very quick bot capture prevents Muradin, who was actually trying to sneak the Dragon Knight, but Jaina was also there to prevent that at least the first time with that extra Frostbolt range at level 1.
Alright, and now I want you guys to pay special attention to DSL on that Cassia and compare his performance on the Cassia to the one on Junkrat in game number 1. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to see his overall efficiency just, you know, getting multiplied here. His positioning, his stutter stepping is probably one of the best in the league. And Cassia in particular seems to really give him the edge over his opponents more often than not. Trying once again to go for that Thunderstroke build, by the way, as we said. Max poke and good distance to connect between himself and the opponents.
Back in the day, Cassia definitely used to be one of his top ones. It was Cassia and Valor, both easily his most played heroes from back then. As we see, a lovely interrupt by Malfurion prevents Par from happening. But that was almost a clutch move by C, keeping Muradin locked down long enough for Par to sneak that.
In the meantime, you can really see how Zhuyu is not even actively trying to, you know, initiate a full-on team battle, team fight. All he wants to do is just land a Stormbolt every here and then so he can stack up his Stormbolt quest as well to get that piercing Stormbolt. XDQ, though, in a little bit of trouble. There's only so much one Phoenix can do against mercenaries, minions, and 2 enemy heroes.
CE pushing in. They're going to be able to grab this top tower at minimum. Just dropping the damage onto Free Show, though. Par is actually going to be forced back to get some mana. Zhuyu is 1v3. He does actually need to be careful how he positions, especially with Free Show rotating in. Are they going to try and get Zhuyu? No. Zhuyu is, in fact, just going to pressure MJ as they get the double cap. Nice move by 365 here. Oh. And yeah, that was nice. They saw that C had used the Fire Stomp already as a harassment. Free Show just outside the base. But that was nice. Knowing he'd use the Fire Stomp, Mouth drops the root, knowing Diablo can't get to him, and gets the cap.
Yeah, because Diablo does not get unstoppable after using Shadow Charge, right? So the roots would have actually kept him frozen in place. So, as you said, beautiful pickup by CE there as well. Just completely shutting down the escape from Irel. That was, by the way, you know, presented to you by the Dragon Knight punt. All the way into the enemy team's half, or in your own team's half, sorry. And then you're going to catch Irel up.
DQ teleports away. Zhu continuing to harass as Dragon Knight just grabs more towers, more value, damages the minions, so Alufo can burn those down as well. This is looking good. A great start for CE. That kill on Yrel especially was unfortunate and avoidable. Yrel was a little bit too far forward, wanted to try and get in range for the deny, ended up getting caught out.
So sick as well. I'm glad you mentioned the kill on Yrel. Because of that, Jaina was actually forced to hold the top lane so they wouldn't miss tremendous amounts of experience in that lane. And that means that the Dragon Knight wasn't actually being damaged by Jaina. As such, that Millford took way more damage than it otherwise would have.
Cassia making great use of that Ring of the Leech there, driving in and putting pressure onto everyone. Just eating the hits from Hammer and saying, sure, dropping the Fend with the Ring of Leech with the blind. Heals basically back up to full just by herself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, RPG find themselves in a little bit of a pinch here. Look at KTY, Zhuyu, XTQ, the entirety of CE is trying to make something happen, but scouted by RPG. If the blue team had actually been level 10, they could have easily made that invade. Without it, not so guaranteed.
Yeah, they're only halfway through level 9 at this point, so CE unable to make that particular kind of invade, but RPG, this allows them to chain some mercenaries together. And this is fantastic news for them, because now they can use these for all the deep push that they can. With Zhu unable to raid this without his team, as once again, level 10's just around the corner. You don't want to feed those two people right as level 10 hits, because, well, you're not going to be able to gain the value out of it. As level 10 is now online, what is CE going to pick up? We stuck with Salvo. I was confused that Phoenix was holding for a second. But this is a big lead over RPG in terms of experience. RPG is still half a level away themselves, and this will confirm bottom fort for Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, the mercenary onslaught into level 10 is just too much for them to handle. We see the BFG coming into play here, by the way. No napalm, and KTY in trouble. Gets shut down here with a jet propulsion. Body blocks. Lives, though.
So instead, XTQ dives and Jaina goes down. BFG does not land. And this is just an absolute outplay on this dive. KTY able to bait perfectly. Siebel 100% fall as well. And that is a double kill coming in for CE.
Actually, Diablo did Phoenix a favor, Tetra. He interrupted the salvo, which would have been wasted on a dead target anyways, right? So now it's back on off cooldown, and they can use it in future team fights.
Pre-show gets a quick delay, but is also eating a lot of pressure, being forced to back up. And this will allow enough time for DSL to deny the channel, at least for the moment. But you immediately see everyone from CE heading down there. If DSL hangs around any longer, he will die. He's actually pretty far forward. Zhu could try and leap the wall and make a play here.
Classic DSL.
Yeah, just runs at him. Fend. That root had landed. That might have been a dead Phoenix. DSL just absolutely wins the 1v1.
Man, DSL is just so good when it comes to evaluating, like, can I get away with it? Can I actually play this aggressively? Almost acting like a pseudo tank, or is it better for me to stay passively? So, yep, level 10, by the way, hasn't been chosen by Cassia yet. Still hovering over a potential Valkyrie.
Yeah. So we see the damage output being thrown onto Zhu, unable to get it this time. Diablo is full on souls, fantastic. Water Elemental was thrown out pretty early here. Already pretty much dead and close to expiration as well, so that's just likely to be left, and there is the Valkyrie.
There's the Valkyrie indeed being used immediately. Malfurion, of course, no longer has Ice Block available, so in the future that might be a golden target to jump on. Zhuyu with the play, with the initiation.
Salvo interrupted, but DSL getting focused down. He gets a lovely Ring of the Leech on Phoenix, though, and gets a great execution. Now pulling back, stub-stepping, kiting Zhuyu, who is way too far forward for Malfurion to heal him, but he's able to dwarf toss away. Now Alufal is the target, but a quick route from 365, and Alufal able to leave.
All right, that might be the first Dragon Knight, ladies and gentlemen, for the red team for RPG. Jaina's already on the way. Irel trying to basically pave the way there as well. Without Phoenix, there's nothing that CE could have done there.
Well, there's a Dragon Knight coming in for RPG. Jaina sneaking that during that fight in the bot lane. So now they actually have the opportunity to get level 13. Diablo has just come back. He's had to port back to get some health and mana. But now RPG can try and make some plays. Punt onto Muradin, sends him for a ride. The Dragon Knight slowly burns through towers.
Yeah, I think it's just a distraction, though. You know, Jaina now rotating between middle and bottom. They want to keep at least some of the heroes, some of the players of CE distracted, while the rest of their team, RPG that is trying to go for a play in top lane, maybe even get that forward. They're taking a little too long there, in my opinion. I don't even know why they bother poking the Muradin. All they should try to do is maybe find another target and try to go for the fort. G2 actually stepping in quite deeply here.
The Valkyrie so close to hitting 365, but he dodges around it. Stay a while, dodged with the bunker. Nicely done. As everyone from RPG begins to pull back. Armor being applied by Yrel keeps everyone topped up, or at least keeps everyone safe from a follow-up counter engage. But this is still a fort going over to RPG. As such, they are now just under half a level behind CE, where they were basically a full level.
Yeah, keep in mind that the Ancient's Blessings here is also coming in very handy for that Cassia. Makes her even harder to kill because of that additional self-sustain. Also makes her auto attacks hit a little harder, which is definitely a very welcome talent. But as you said, Tetcher, and this is something we've been criticizing about RPG several times now already, is they get an objective, but they fail to capitalize on it, right? True, the bottom fort did end up getting destroyed. Look at the experience count. See, almost lose nothing. Lost a single advantage, really.
Not yet. With CE still in control for the moment. What can they make out of this? Looks like they might try and check this out and invade this. Once again, they're on even levels. Soon to be level 15. They're too slow if they wanted to try and prevent this, but they might be able to pick up a very quick kill onto MJ. No. BFG just short, but Salvo is not. MJ shields himself, though, and survives. Lightning Breath is huge. Stay a while and listen. Buys MJ some time as he's being chased down by Zhuyu. They pick up the second kill onto Blaze, and RPG are doing it, Kendrick.
Yeah, just look at DSL, man. And when he's completely left unattended, he is going to collect people. He's catching them like Pokemon, and only the Muradin escapes the wrath of Kasi here for a short period of time. But as it is, though, another very victorious fight for RPG. 2 people actually end up dying, and the shrines are being activated in 25 seconds, Tetra. Look at that. With all that mercenary push, with all that minion push, they're actually going to push back CE into their own half of the base, but never mind. They found a Wild Decker Kane.
They've also found a Wild Yrel, but it's only Muradin here, so they're unable to do that. Yeah, that Decker Kane death was not good, but it's still the opportunity for RPG to soak level 16. This is #1 priority right now. Prevent Dragon Knight, soak 16, wait for Decker to be back alive again.
Yeah, that was not really that great, unfortunately, for RPG. That takes a lot of momentum, a lot of wind out of their sails here when they were just about to, get a big advantage. KTY body block by Yrel. She says, "You shall not pass this time around." Now the Hunter becomes the Hunter, though. Free show. Is he going to make it?
He doesn't have Ardent. He might be in trouble. Quick jump, though, as he's able to stay alive with that Avenging Wrath. Really needs a healer, though.
Yeah, just get out of here now, Yrel. You have done everything you needed to.
How convenient, a healer has shown up. MJ arrives with potions for everyone, as Zhuyu is found by DSL, or maybe vice versa. They both damage each other and then both leave.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. RPG, they're showing us their teeth and claws. They're definitely not done fighting this yet. We see the piercing bolts, by the way, coming in from Yrel. A good cleanse onto Sergeant Hammer. Is it going to be enough, though? Lufo runs for his life.
Lightning Breath is used. This is once again all a distraction, though, while Jada was trying to sneak this, but this time Zhuyu was wise to the tricks and is able to 1v1 Jada. But here comes Free Show. No good thing in life is free as they take down the Muradin.
Get dunked on, son. Muradin ends up losing his life in spectacular fashion, and the Dragon Knight goes over to RPG. Not worth it, unfortunately. RPG will gladly trade off the Jaina for that objective. As we, enter the later stages of the game, we're seeing a more powerful Dragon Knight, and that is definitely going to be another fort. The map is now wide open in favor of RPG.
To expand on what I just said earlier, when I said no good things in life are free, apparently free show is a very good thing in life, picking up that kill, and also Heroes is free, so this is good. As they begin to move into the top lane, burning through top fort, nice and easy, and that is a structure lead now for RPG, and for the first time, an XP lead.
Absolutely true, and you know what is stopping them right now from taking the middle as well? I don't think there's a whole lot here, really. The only thing they kind of need to be careful of is, of course, to group up beforehand. Jaina only just came back from the Hall of Storms. Here we go, Irel is still inside. That's the best target, actually. I would just like them to use the Flaming Breath right now from a safe distance, so they save a little bit of health on the Dragon Knight. Actually taking a little bit too much damage from that Hammer. Diablo out of nowhere.
He stays alive for the moment. There appears to be a bit of a... Muradin appears to have fled down below, looking for Jaina once again. Icebox being used. Could anyone get into help for Par? No, Par is down. Now can see escape, actually, because he is in danger. Armor applied. We see a lot of damage. Lightning Grab in the choke point, but Salvo is still good. Gio escapes over the wall, but Hammer is massacring them over this hedge.
They need to stop Jaina from dying. That is the second time now within 2 minutes that Jaina ends up dying without her team really being able to assist her in time. Free show. That is big trouble. And just like that, Tetcher, how to throw away your lead that you just worked to get so high for.
Jaina's been alone every time she's died. She 1v1s Muradin. She gets dove on when she's trying to flank. I understand Jaina flanks are super cool, but the second you get dove on, your entire team has to react to you, and suddenly they're not fighting anymore. Suddenly they're chasing the enemy who's chasing you.
At this point, it's actually harder for RPG to throw away that lead. I mean, I don't even know what... You mentioned this so often, right? When you do educational content or you're trying to help other players out, but just stay with the team. You don't even have Ring of Frost for those deadly games. And now look what happened. What's happening? 4 Siege Giants knocking on that key. That's a key just like that because of Pa not paying attention twice in a row.
4 Siege Giants, 1 Siege Tank, but now they're making it. The Valkyrie doesn't work, but they're still able to get the kill. Turns out Diablo flipped the Sergeant Hammer out of the Valkyrie there, but either way they picked up the kill, and now they're looking for KTY, who has to use it. Fend lands, quick shield being applied, and KTY will survive.
He will survive for now. DSL, he is a tanky boy on that Cassia, but even he needs to be careful not to overstay his welcome, right? One quick turnaround with Blaze, Muradin locking their stuns together so the physical armor doesn't kick in, and it could have actually been over. Okay, so yet again, a little bit of an unclean push there from CE losing Sergeant Hammer, for example. Dude, if they actually lose that Dragon Knight, I think they...
Just on the tick of the fire. The Dragon Knight is taken. Jaina using this to take down the final fort, and then it's all about that bot lane. Everyone is on the way. Yarel
bending wraps clean out.
They would love to try. This is the objective, the only objective, as they just burn through the towers as fast as possible. C is in position. Minion wave is arriving. BFG removes the minion wave, or at least most of it. But the Dragon Knight is still pretty tanky right now. If they can get a good punt onto someone, they might be able to try and do this. They're going to march Dragon Knight in. Remember, it's Jaina in this. Valkyrie onto the Malfurion, who gets killed. Here comes the Lightning Grab and the Salvo for the tower damage, but the armor applied by Yarel. Dragon Knight has expired, but the upgraded Lightning Grab zones away everyone of CE, and that's a counter key.
And that is the counter key. They might even go for the counter core. You still had the Avatar left. The 20 upgrade on the BFG, providing additional wave clear, additional damage from a long distance here. But once again, I just would love to see a replay here. I'm not sure if production has it ready, but DSL, he's the fisherman at this point. Just angling one target after another, and Malfurion proved to be the biggest fish in the pot for them.
And where do you fish from the sea? As he pulled him in, the Valkyrie was slightly blocked. Free show, please be careful. Valkyrie was blocked by the wall, but he still got the stun, and Diablo was able to get him into the same wall that saved Valkyrie from getting pulled all the way in. He was able to stun him up against and get the kill for his team. This camp will be stolen, but it looks like CE want to fight this without Malfurion. BFG comes out, Bunker is protecting them for the moment. Yarel tanks through, drops the Zephyrim, and is gonna pull back.
Tetra, I think that BFG hit the entire team of RPG. That was so much damage with only one ability, and both teams are just giving no chills. They show no fear, no respect whatsoever. It's just a constant brawl from start to finish. But this game couldn't get any closer now, could it? Both teams have now catapults in the bottom. Both teams have 20 abilities ready, 20 talents, sorry. But I think overall still RPG has more structure on the battleground.
They do. RPG have still 2 forts available, whereas CE have only keeps. So this is RPG's game in terms of positioning. As they move in, they have all their heroics except for Water Elemental and Valkyrie. They're moving in anyway. They do not care. Looking for Zhuyu. He gets rooted. Damage is good from Cassia, but they can't get the kill. Arch Defender having to be burned. Here comes the Purification Salvo. Urel needs to get to the team to drop the armor on them to keep them alive. C is dropping low. He sneaks away, turns around, drops the Lightning Breath on the bunker. But there's the bullet on Malfurion, who gets roasted.
Absolutely roasted. DSL at this point is like, ha, got one, another one. But both teams lost. Remember, the difference is Diablo is back to business. He had full soul stones stacked up and ready to go. He is now mini Dibbles, so needs to be careful not to get too greedy. Because more often than not did we see, you know, tiny Diablos die immediately after respawning. But still, 40 seconds without a support Tetra. We mentioned the importance of supports before the game started, right? And now, this is going to be a severe problem for CE.
This is RPG's game to lose right now. They take control, they grab their Bruiser camp, they have control of bot. Blaze and Muradin, both capped top. Phoenix and Hammer on the way bot to try and neutralize again and deny a Dragon Knight, which they will be able to do. No one else is down here. Also, that Orbital BFG cleaning up the RPG lane so the CE catapults will get more value. Pretty clever.
That's so sick. Like, it's almost you have a permanent push in the bottom lane in your favor, right? Diablo back in the fray, trying to get a grip on Zhuyu, who basically survives pretty well here, actually. Look at DSL, though. Late game Cassia with Titan's Revenge ignores all forms of armor now and has a longer auto attack range. This is truly DSL in beast mode right now.
This is quite clever coming in here from DSL, trying to kite this. Needs to be careful on the positioning. Look at this. Zhuyu is just, he knows exactly. They're going to try and get Diablo. Remember, he's got those souls, but they can't get in range. There's a beautiful Valkyrie, and Phoenix gets at the bunker, though. MJ still alive. Lightning Breath on the outside of the bunker as the salvo comes in, getting a little bit of damage off as far, gets taken out off to the side. The first to fall in this fight. Free Show applies more armor, quick knockback, and he will survive. Muradin is running straight for top lane because this could be CE's chance for a DK.
Tetra Jaina was standing in front of Diablo. I'm not sure what went wrong there. I would have loved to actually watch that in a replay as well. But the positioning by Pa on the Jaina is too aggressive every single time now.
They neutralize. They're holding it together for now. 37 seconds until Jaina is back alive. This is giving Diablo more time to get souls, but Muradin is on the way from top lane where he just capped. This will make it a 4 versus 5 unless RPG can do something now. But there's the root, the anti-healing onto the Urel, who immediately drops the heal, but a quick blow up on Cassia. And with both damage dealers gone, RPG are in full retreat.
There's only so much you can do without your Jaina, right? There's only so much you can do to keep them at bay, to damage them, and I think now this might be the nail in the coffin. The bottom lane is wide open for RPG. That could be the path to glory, the path to victory for CE here. Phoenix is hopping inside of it. Urel arrives too late to stall the channeling process, and now it takes a miracle for RPG to hold this 35 seconds until DSL will be back in the fray.
It's a 22-minute Dragon Knight. Jaina's alive, but like I said, 30 seconds until Cassia. Unless they can get like a double kill here before the Dragon Knight arrives, it's not happening. And this looks familiar. Pa just goes down without even a whip. Actually, suddenly Diablo, Zhuyu gets and they finish him off. Zhuyu sneaks away. Free Show's in the backline causing chaos, but the Dragon Knight snipes Jaina once again. And with Zhuyu tanking through everything Free Show has to offer, and the Dragon Knight completely unattended. CE will take the game and the series with the 2-0.
Zhuyu, an absolute tank monster there towards the end, just surviving barely. I don't think it even would have mattered, but it was certainly achieved here for style points. Muradin showing them how it's done. And with that last second effort on that Dragon Knight, they secure themselves the second win. CE coming out swinging today and taking these much desired and much needed 3 points. I will say this, Tetcher, that was probably one of the closest and craziest games we've been casting for a while.